From behind-the-scenes broadcasting studios in Washington, D.C., winner of the Rubenstein Award for Highly Effective Leadership, recognized by the National Assessment of Educational Progress, ranked as the fastest improving school district in the nation. Welcome to Tosh Talk, where the focus is on effective innovations in education that are practical and forward-leaning. Here's your host, Atasha James.
I'm Atasha James. Welcome to Tosh Talk, where I focus on effective innovations in education that are practical and forward-leaning. Today's episode is fueled by the White Stripes 7 Nation Army. When I hear that track, that bass line speaks to me. It says, "Bring it on." And that's what this episode is all about, bringing the heat, proving what's possible. We're not in a perfect world, friends. We have so many issues. Graduation rates low, you name it, too many to talk about. But what if we were given the liberty just for a moment to reimagine what we would make of our schools? What if we could prove what's possible, especially if money weren't a limitation? Oh baby, I'll have you know, over the next 10 years, millions of dollars in education venture capital dollars will focus on bringing these dreams and what we reimagine to life. Many moons ago, I worked with a brilliant mind. His name was Scott Zadel, and he used to press me about the future and what I wanted. And he said, "Will you be ready, or will you need time to get ready? What's the plan? If they come today and give you a school, do you have a plan, yes or no?" I'll have you know his words stuck with me. I worked so hard to create blueprints of 3 kinds of schools, and I always used to keep in the back of my mind, whenever I get the chance, I'm ready. I didn't waste a minute. As a principal of a school, that's a major key, because the average service span of a principal is 5 years. You need to make sure you have your chips in order and your plan together, because you only have, in the best of circumstances, usually 5 years to prove what's possible. You have to move with calculated conviction, the compass and the clock. You have to know your direction and that it's time sensitive. Okay, let's take it from the top. I have a team of thought partners and strategists who aren't educators. I have the mind of an engineer, the imagination of a marketer, and the intelligence of a specialist in collaboration who was involved with the assassination of Osama bin Laden. Oh, they bad. The solutions rendered when we bring problems of practice to the table go beyond any small end-of-year goal. Meeting end-of-year incremental school goals versus eliminating illiteracy, for example, is a major difference. My goal was to ensure kids could read at or above grade level at kindergarten and at the latest first grade. The goal for all the kids is to obtain a score of 1,000 on the SRI as soon as possible. We got it down to a science that if a child, as soon as possible, could score independently 1,000 on the SRI, then as long as we prompted them and gave them a different opportunity to think about reading differently, they could score well on any standardized assessment, SAT, PARCC, you name it, 1,000 is the key. The ideas and the thought partners, the dreams, the plans for this kind of work is critical. Who you sit down and think and plan with is everything. So we're looking at the school calendar. We know that right now we're documenting all of the practices that we have thought about for last year to ensure that our kids do great on these standardized assessments. There's no 2 ways around it. We can't get around PARCC. It is what it is. And there's no point in trying to say, oh, this or that. It's here. And we know that we have to prepare the kids for that race. But here's what I want to leave with you. I need you to be scrutinizing what plan you have in place right now so that the moment these standardized tests are done, you launch into your innovation window. How are you going to roll out your first iteration? What's your end goal? You don't want false peaks. Your goal, friends, is to change the world. What's your legacy going to be? So here's what I propose. When we sat down at Lecky to think about how we would maximize our time, talent in service of kids, we put all the talent on the table. We knew that if we wanted to, A, make sure we had fun at our work, B, make the job doable and sustainable, but 3, yield visible results, that we had to put everything on the table. And so the school design that we launched actually exceeded any goal that we ever could have imagined. 90% of our kindergartners leave reading at or above grade level. And not just at a level C, our kindergartners are leaving on average reading at a second grade level. You know what that does for the first grade teacher, who has usually been damned to mitigate reading loss at a level that made their job almost impossible? This year's children can come in writing full paragraphs. The children can communicate full thoughts. The anxiety around reading is diminished. The teachers actually are thriving in their career because now they can focus on abundance. They can focus on the things that teachers want to focus on. But that came by us departmentalizing at kindergarten. When we sat down and put all the talent on the table, we have a reading teacher, we have a math teacher, and we have a science, STEM, humanities teacher. Our children, while it's an adult issue that often prevents us from dreaming and imagining, my babies switch classes 3 times a day. When we put this in place, the halo effect of the operation became more valuable than some of the other school designs that are typically available. You see, when you have a teacher who's absent in a regular school day, a teacher who teaches all 5 subjects, when the teacher is out or they have an in-service and meeting, the children misses out on every single area of their learning. But when you departmentalize and one teacher's out, the child only misses a third of what their daily academic diet should be. The teachers also have to be a team. They honor each other's time. They have to front load and plan. Children know what to expect in every single classroom because the rules are the same. The platform of learning is the same. Imagine if you went to 9 different classrooms with 9 different expectations, with 9 different syllabus, with 9 different teaching styles. That's a lot for any human, let alone a student, to take into account. But in this situation, classroom rules and expectations are normed. The communication for parents is streamlined because it's one team, one voice. And when we do this, we get to really look at children's performance and put human capital where we need it most. So for example, when we have our kids who are reading 2 and 3 years above average, now what we can do is pull those advanced readers modules and we can put those in those classrooms. We can train the teacher to be able to pull those stories forwards and back and give the kids who are in that group that focused, skilled attention that they need and deserve. And that goes the same for children who may be struggling in reading. When we get to be able to focus on what that strategy the child needs to unfold, to build on, it's almost like magic to see it really come to life and to see the children be honored and the teachers be honored. But let's be real. There's a teacher shortage that's in front of us. We don't have a long line around the building of teachers willing to come and work, let alone work in tough, high-need areas because they don't see the return on their investment. We've almost said this is an impossible thing, and now it's starting to stick. We have to change that narrative. We have to change the paradigm. And so when we talk about what's coming, what's next, I understand as a school leader, you have a family to feed, you have real obligations at home. I want you to consider, though, doing your homework, looking at what is different than what you're doing now. We know what we're doing isn't getting the job done the way we need it to. What I'm saying to you, friends, put your thought team together, put your plan together, and don't be afraid to fail trying. Don't get locked into doing what we've done because we know what that gets us, more of the same. It's that age-old saying, doing more of the same over and over again and expecting a different result. That makes us crazy. We're absolutely not crazy. But more importantly, what we need to now is leverage hope. We need to leverage skill. We need to leverage talent. And so there's so many organizations out there who are disrupting the norm, who are here. And what I'll say to you, contact school leaders. Come in and ask them if you can have 5 minutes of their time to put before them these school designs that you know and have seen to be effective in other contexts, because the reality is we don't want to try new things because, well, it's a high accountability job. And so at least if I execute what's in front of me and I do that with a good old college try, at the end of the day, I can say I did my job, and that's true. But we're past that point of just doing our job. We're at the point now where we have to do our job better. We have to prove what's possible. This is our opportunity. This is our fight now. Our kids are watching. The community is tired of the same rhetoric about how bad we're doing. But you know what? The time is now. You can be heard. You can be seen. And your 5 years, your legend, your legacy is in this work. I'm feeling this, but I'm not sure where to go. Reach out to me. Continue this conversation with me on Twitter. But don't be afraid. Bring the heat. Be heard. You can do this. And more importantly, our kids are counting on us to do it. Dream, plan. Thank you for listening. I'm Natasha James.
Thank you for listening to Tosh Talk with Natasha James, where our focus is on effective innovations in education. Our hope was to engage you with provocative thought. Let's continue the conversation at Twitter at Natasha James. Until next time, you've been listening to Tosh Talk with Natasha James.